every step, every turn you make, the breath you take, I'll be right there with you on your own.
One frequency, one nation, one station. 99.9 WEFM.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Buiti Binafi, good morning, everybody. Buenos dias, bonjour. It is Activated Mornings right here on WEFM with Roleza and Dianna. At this time, we will take in our commentary from Mr. PeeJohn, who is already on the line. PeeJohn, good morning.
Good morning, ladies.
Morning.
And I hope you're having a wonderful morning so far. Now, I have a question. Is party politics an attractive career option for young Vincentians? I noted some interest that a number of relatively young persons have indicated their intention to become involved in active politics. I am left to wonder, given the nature of political activity in this country, why do so many young people gravitate towards politics? Here's a list of 14 names being called, as far as I could tell. Grace Walters, Rodan John, Andrew John, Philip Jackson, Kishaka Cupid, Randy Luther McIntosh, yes, the same one, Siobhan Stewart, Abdon White, Conroy Hoggins, Kishore Shallow, Shaquille Bob, Ashel Morgan, Kissel Peters, Benava Brown. By the way, no one on this list has ever faced the polls. Bob, Morgan, Peters, and Brown are currently sitting as senators in the House of Parliament. Now, I think that being a politician in St. Vincent comes with its own set of opportunities and challenges. And I just wish to briefly comment on some of those. On the positive side, politicians have the opportunity to influence national policies and make decisions that can significantly impact the lives of the citizens. Serving the public and contributing to the development of the nation can be a fulfilling experience for whoever wants to do that. Holding a political office often generally comes with a high level of recognition and respect within the community. Furthermore, politicians are seen as leaders and role models, which can be personally gratifying. But all is not hunky-dory. There are some downsides, and I want to list about 6 or 7 of them. First, as soon as a person declares his or her interest in being a politician, he or she is immediately under serious public scrutiny. Their actions, their decisions, even their personal lives are often subject to intense media and public examination. This can well be stressful and invasive. Second, the responsibilities of a politician in or out of office are immense. The pressure to perform and meet the expectations of current and potential constituents can be overwhelming. The job more than likely requires long hours and can be quite taxing. Third, the political environment can be volatile. With the risk of losing elections, facing opposition, dealing with political conflicts and crises, this instability can be very challenging to navigate. Fourth, politicians often face criticism from rivals, the media, the public, and handling criticism and maintaining a positive image can be difficult and requires resilience. Fifth, politicians must often balance the interests of various stakeholders, including the constituents, party members, international partners, This can be a complex and delicate task requiring strong negotiation and diplomatic skills. Sixth, navigating the ethical landscape, trying to avoid, for example, corruption, can be challenging. Politicians may face dilemmas that require them to make tough decisions that could have significant consequences for their careers and personal lives. And seven, the nature of the job often means that politicians have little or no privacy. Their personal lives can become public domain. This can be problematic for them and their families. So overall, being a politician in a place like St. Vincent and the Grenadines requires a strong commitment to public service, resilience, and the ability to navigate the complex social and political landscape. The work is probably highly rewarding, but also comes with significant challenges. Whether or not these young, budding politicians are up to the task is left to be seen. I personally wish them all the best. And that is my rant for the day.
All right. Anything from you, Dianna?
PeeJohn, I noticed you didn't call some young names. I didn't hear Mark Doyle and I forgot the leader for the party. Mark Doyle and another young man. I didn't hear those names.
Those are French groups. I focus mainly on those associated with the two main political parties.
Okay.
All right. So, PeeJohn, how are you defining young, though? What's the definition of young? Because some of the names that you called out, I was a little curious, you know?
50 and below, but there's one exception in terms of youth on this list that I just called. That is Andrew John. He's the only retiree on the list. All the others are very active in their careers, mid to level, early to mid point in their careers.
All right. Next question for you. So in your list of the positives, did you mention self-sacrificing and nationalists? Did any of that happen to come up in between? I can't remember if you listed it explicitly.
No, I didn't mention it, but I think that those could be added.
All right, because I think at the 4 is this is what it's really supposed to be about. They're supposed to be self-sacrificing and nationalists, in that they're not necessarily supposed to put their own personal agendas ahead of the interests of the nation, right? Another thing that I would say, though, is it's interesting that like several of those persons on the list, not several, maybe like 2 of those persons I went to school with, and I thought about it recently where you now have this new generation, and we're now in that bracket of being the persons who are supposed to take over. And I will be very honest, there's another friend, well, you didn't call that person's name, but we will see what happened, who has had an interest in it for years. And I was always of the opinion that he can make a contribution to national development without being involved in party politics. But the thing of it is that I've also had to reconcile with, if persons like them don't get involved, or persons like him don't get involved, who is going to take over and run the country? So when we're talking about young people gravitating towards party politics, many of them, what they want to see is a change in terms of the nasty ways of politics that many persons do not want to see happening anymore. So maybe what we're looking to hope for is that with these young persons getting on board is that they will change it. They will change the way in which many of us look at how politics is, and that they actually put the country ahead of themselves. So that might be helpful to be able to answer your question.
But like I said, I list some of the downsides to being actively engaged in politics, and I hope these people can meet the challenges and overcome them.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, it doesn't matter to me which party they support, as long as you're young and forthright and aggressive and caring, all these good things.
Mm-hmm.
You should be welcome into the political fray. But be careful.
True, but at the end of it, though, PeeJohn, somebody has to take up the responsibility, right? So
yes.
All right.
So all the best for the day.
To you too, PeeJohn. Thanks.
That was Mr. PeeJohn with his commentary there, talking about partisan politics and some young upcoming politicians, I should say. Let me once again say good morning to everybody. I hope that you are doing well this morning. We were having a little bit of rain on our side. Some people will say showers of blessings,
Morning. Sprinkle of blessings. That no shower. No shower ain't come down. Morning.
It's sprinkled just a touch. All right then. Roleza, morning.
Good morning, Dianna. Buenos dias, bonjour, all those words. All right. I hope everybody is doing a-okay. And you had a good night's rest, and you're up and ready to go for today, Thursday. All right. For those of you who were stuck in the traffic yesterday.
Oh boy. Wow.
I shouldn't be laughing at y'all because Leeward is having it every now and again. But I hope that by the time that you got home, you were able to calm down yourselves, relax a bit, and you are up and, you're okay this morning. That you're okay.
And I saw that thing with that traffic. Your words from yesterday just kept ringing in my head, about living on the Leeward side and loving being a Leeward girl. And at that moment, I was like, yeah, boy, I like my side.
Yeah,
I like my side.
Until a container turn over the road or something. That's it. Yeah.
True. But, the traffic is usually on that side of the country. So I'm so sorry for those of you who had to endure that yesterday, but that is that. In response to PeeJohn, Dianna Cain, I am of the opinion that there isn't, I want to put my words carefully, when it comes to partisan politics. Well, first of all, I can't say what the interest is for young people going into politics, what makes them interested, what makes them not interested, because I don't know anyone personally who's planning to be a politician and, those things. And I have no intention of being a politician. So I can't say what the interest is. I know that I have no interest in that particular area because of what it creates, because of the kind of things that, we've seen over the years. People have killed people for politics, and when we say politics, we mean partisan politics. Okay, I'm just trying to not be using all them words, right? So I've seen the ugly things that happen with politics. I do not believe it is good, no matter how much you dress it up and nice it up, because I look beyond the surface and look at it for what it is. So I really do not like it, the division that it creates, the kind of behavior that is associated with it, and other things that I would have in conversations in person, and not necessarily right now. But if you are interested, to each his own. So if for those young people who are interested in getting into politics, I'm not going to say no, don't go. I mean, you do what you want to do what you think is best. But I agree with Roleza in saying that I don't think that you have to be a politician in order to make some sort of change in your country. We seem to think that in order to do that, you must be a politician. And I don't know, we've been living on this earth for 20, this is the 21st century. And for me, when I look at politics and I look at governments over the years, and I see all the needs that are left even after governments leave office, even while they're in office, I question certain things, but that's how I feel.
All right, so let me just respond to Dianna within 50 seconds, right? So the thing of it though, Dianna, is with the young persons entering, and I can remember with Miss Kittles in particular, Kittles in particular, what she is hoping to do is to bring about a different style of politics. Well, not a different style, not to go down the road that our parents and grandparents went down in terms of the nasty areas of politics. That's one of the things that she's advocating, and maybe this is one of the things that many young persons are seeing. I remember recently with one of the persons who have put forward themselves as candidates, when they came back in response to something that the PM said, many persons said that they were disappointed with that younger person's response because they did not want to see him going down that road, right? The PM has his style and everything, and we are used to it and so forth, but they did not want to, or they were not happy to see that this young person responded in a similar nature as the PM did. All right. So that is the thing with younger persons coming in. We can possibly see a change in terms of the nasty areas of politics being done away with. All right. We know that, yes, persons will put their little jabs and so forth, but to be really nasty and really vile and being vindictive and that sort of thing, we would like to see it done away with as younger persons. Right. The other thing, too, is that remember that a politician doesn't just represent us here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, right? They're not just here to develop our interests. They're not just here to push forward agendas for the constituency, etc. They have to represent us on an international stage. And we have to have persons who can stand their ground and hold their own in an international meetings, etc. So we do have to have competent people who can represent us and not just somebody deciding, oh, well, I would be good for the constituency, but you're forming part of the government. And then you're forming part of the people who are representing us internationally. So we have to have strong and proper candidates, right? And we have to end as it is 7:36.
Right. All right. So we are headed over to our traffic talk at this time.
Nothing else sounds as good as
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
This is WEFM's Traffic Talk, Monday to Friday, 7:35 a.m. in association with the traffic branch of the Royal